If you are early in your 30s, living in a big city like Saigon, Vietnam, managing a household, you know exactly how fast money can disappear. From the monthly rent to mortgage and utility bills to supporting your parents while trying to keep your wife happy. And on top of that, planning for the future. Sometimes it feels like we are running on a financial treadmill that never stops. My name is Jack. I'm a 33 years old man living with my wife and my mommy in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Over the last few years, I've realized that building wealth isn't about hitting a massive jackpot or getting lucky with a random stock tip. It's about having a concrete, stress-free system. And today, I'm pulling back the curtain to show you my actual personal investment portfolio, currently valued at almost 1 billion Vietnamese đồng. And I'll explain my exact assets allocation across 4 different types of investment, built to ensure that I have enough money for the day-to-day life while simultaneously building a rock-solid foundation for when we retire, me and my wife. And what excites me the most is how we are taking advantage of the stock market to speed up our wealth building journey. But more importantly, I am going to share with you the one daily habit that actually funds this portfolio month after month. Let's break it down. Now, before we look at these specific asset classes, we need to address the absolute elephant in the room. Let me tell you a harsh truth. A world-class investment portfolio is completely useless if you have $0 left at the end of the month to buy into it. Most people would try to invest whatever is left over at the end of the month. But in a vibrant, tempting city like Saigon, there is never anything left over if you don't pay attention to your money. You buy a cup of Highlands coffee, go out with your colleagues in District 1, buy some household items for your mom, and grab a gift here and there for your wifey. And then suddenly, your bank account gone poof, bone dry. And that brings me to the core rule of my entire system. The only way I went from struggling to find money to invest to building a portfolio of nearly 1 billion Vietnamese đồng was by tracking my money daily. I keep my eyes on every single dong that comes in and every single dong that goes out of my household. I don't guess where my cash flow is. I know it down to the decimal point, okay? Well, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I know it really, really well. When you track daily, you see your monthly cash flow visually. You see exactly how much money is coming in and how much money is leaving your pockets. And crucially, your net surplus. Because I wanted to see this cash flow and my investment interact seamlessly so bad. I actually built a web app called Money Guards to do exactly that. After years of trying dozens of different personal finance trackers, I couldn't find anything, so I built it myself. Right now, it's a web app, but it serves the job wonderfully. If you want to try it out, the link is in the description below, and it is totally free. Trust me, I'm the owner, I know it. Each day, whenever my wife or I log our spending, the app automatically visualizes our monthly surplus. That surplus is my investment fuel. Whether you use an app, a spreadsheet, or a notebook, you must track your cash flow daily. That is step 0. So once you have that daily habit locked in, what do you actually do with that surplus? Now let's pivot to the numbers, okay? Well, this is my actual assets allocation right now, sitting at 990 million Vietnamese dong. And as I go deeper into these investments, you'll notice it is very different from the typical high-risk crypto and micro-cap stock portfolios that you see online. And my portfolio currently consists of 4 major pillars. Standing at the top of the chart with almost 45% of the whole package is the absolute anchor of my financial ship. And the name is
Bond.
And I know I don't mean James Bond, okay? Though this anchor does give me a bit of
A license to chill.
if you know what I mean. At 44.8%, bonds make up nearly half of my portfolio right now. And we have 4 holdings in bonds. One 12-month holding at 8.1% a year, 2 6-month holdings at 9% a year, and one 2-month holding at 7.1% a year. I know, it sounds pretty boring, right? But boring actually helps me sleep so much better at night. Knowing that the coupons that I receive from these bonds ensures I have enough cash for the day-to-day life, as well as an emergency cushion for health issues with my mom or for a very big decision that my wife and I agreed on recently, having a baby. And many people would ask me, why so conservative? You're only 33 years old. You're pretty young. Well, it's true that I'm only in my early 30s, but I'm not living by myself anymore. My parents both retired from the government job after almost 20 years of working, and each received around 120 US dollars a month, around 3.5 million Vietnamese dong. Both me and my wife are freelancers. So given this situation, I realized that I am not just taking care of myself anymore. I have people depending on me. Living with my wifey and my mommy means I am the financial pillar of our household. I can't afford to panic sell when the stock market drops 20% to 30% in a month, like I did when I was younger. Bonds give me a peace of mind and highly predictable returns, which creating a massive stability for my family. And for me, that is the most important thing at this stage of our lives. Right alongside that protective anchor, we have 12.7% dedicated to social security for our retirement, me and my wife. So this is the money that we set aside strictly for the long term. Together with my bonds, this means that almost 60% of my total wealth is locked in highly secure, low risk assets. And currently both of us are contributing around 7 million Vietnamese dong each month into this fund. And after 20 years, we will receive a pension of around 22 million Vietnamese dong monthly. And this gives me immense comfort when I think about our old age, when our earning power naturally decrease. But as an investor, I know that fixed income investment alone won't beat inflation, which is our purchasing power, which is why the other side of my portfolio is built for growth. I dedicate 20% to exchange traded funds. Our specific choice is the E1VF VN30 on the Vietnam Stock Exchange, which allows us to buy a basket of the top 30 most profitable companies in Vietnam. And the good news is this has been our most profitable investment so far. I am currently up 16.7% after a year and a half of buying consistently every month. And my wife is up almost 30% in profits. And the best feeling is that I don't have to spend hours analyzing balance sheets and trying to learn more about new businesses. I mean, I love doing that, but it's a lot of work. I just let the general growth of the economy do the heavy lifting for us. And we will keep doing this for years to come because we truly believe in the future of our country's economy. So if you want to follow our journey, please subscribe and come along with the journey. Finally, to round out the growth side, I allocate 20.4% to select individual stocks. And this is where I take a bit more calculated risk on businesses that I thoroughly understand and believe in. It gives my portfolio that extra boost of growth potential, But because it's limited to about 1/5 of my overall wealth, a bad market cycle won't wipe me out. I only do this with the money that I know we won't be needing for at least the next 5 years. And of course, I always talk to my wife, the boss, before buying anything. Though I have to be honest with you, the results so far is a bit humiliating. The stock I purchased at the beginning of this year is currently down almost 17%. Yet, this is the investment that I am most confident about for the long term. And to me, it's actually the best opportunity to grow wealth in our portfolio right now. Time will prove it. But for now, my wife agrees with me because she is wonderful, Though I'm not entirely sure she was happy when I mentioned about the current performance of this stock. Now, looking at this whole pie chart might make it feels like a lot to manage, but the execution is actually incredibly simple. So how do I actually fund this portfolio every single month without failing for the last year and a half? How does the daily cash flow from part 2 connect directly to these buckets in part 3? Well, it's a simple 3-step loop. Number 1, daily tracking. Every night I spend literally 30 seconds to less than 1 minute opening the Money Guards app to log what our household spent that day. And I have been doing this since last October. Number 2, knowing the surplus. At the end of the month, because of that daily logging, the app shows me exactly what my net cash flow looks like. So after 10 months, what do I have? I have 7 positive cash flow months and 3 were negative. But as long as the positive cash flow outnumbers the negative ones, you're doing great. And number 3, automated pay yourself first. The moment my income hits, I don't wait to see what's left. I immediately distribute my target surplus directly into these 4 buckets. First, funding our retirement through the government social security program. Second, buying our ETFs to make sure that we can grow our wealth alongside the economy. Third, allocating the rest into short-term money instruments like high-yield saving accounts, certificates of deposit, or short-term bonds. And last but not least, setting aside cash to acquire more shares of my favorable individual stocks when the market conditions are favorable. So by tracking daily, I am never surprised by a bill. I always know exactly what I can afford to invest. And honestly, that clarity changes everything. At the end of the day, financial freedom isn't about being a genius trader or the best market forecaster. It's about building habits that protect the people you love. For me, that means a balanced, secured portfolio and a daily commitment to knowing where my money goes. I would love to hear from you as well. If you are in your early 30s, living in Vietnam or other countries, what does your current investment mix look like? Can you share with me? Are you heavy on stocks, gold, real estate, or bonds, or crypto? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you want to start tracking your daily cash flow and managing your net worth, just like I did today, check out the link in the description below and start taking control of your finances with Money Guards. It is totally free of charge. And if you want to support me, please hit that subscribe button. I will see you in the next video. Hẹn gặp lại.